from West Wednesday 606, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate 606. I want you guys to stay tuned as for every time we're online, we play the unfortunate video that I don't like seeing leading up to my brother being executed. But stay tuned for the video and we'll be back. And tonight, we have like a lot to talk about, but mainly about the documentary that I was featured in, and Red Emma's event last week, and just some updates and just how everything is going in life right now. So continue on watching the video, and we'll be right back. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops or in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No.
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up. No.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly, picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, I said, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it.
To profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
So, do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I won't do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now.
Yeah? And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
All right, we're back.
Talk about the documentary Profile. That was a 53-minute documentary that was featured at Red Emma's, and a big shout out to Analysis, who allowed us the space, and that way we could actually have the in-person West Wednesday and discussion. It was very powerful, impactful. But before I start talking about that, I just want to talk about this past weekend at going to Nicole's memorial. It was sad. It was beautiful at the same time because so many people showed up, and the ones that couldn't. And I understand, like, life is life right now, but even the ones that couldn't make it, sending all the love and support and wrapping their around Nicole's beautiful children and her husband and just family. And it was sad, but it was really powerful. Have Uncle Bobby and Auntie B come all the way on an airplane, literally, to come there, to share love and share life on Nicole was, beautiful and touching at the same time. But just remembering her, because had that not happened, we all know that Nicole would have been here tonight. Some fashion, way, shape, or form, she would have been here tonight, uplifting not only her daughter who was murdered, by community violence. She would have also been uplifting her father-in-law, Anthony Anderson. And, with that being said, I just, want to tell you guys that we need to take day as a blessing, whether you believe in God or not. As for me, I do, and it's a blessing, but for granted is my whole point. Enjoy every aspect of it, even when it seems gray and dark. Find like to, focus on, because, with stuff happening, it breaks my heart every time, because for one, nobody, it's hard to deal with that, but especially when it's expected. And like that just like took me back. And then, after that, I just recently lost someone in my family, one of my family members, and we're planning now his funeral memorial service type of thing. This is sad. So just seeing your loved ones, just go make sure that you celebrate every moment, moments that are worthwhile, moments with people that love and care for you. Just share the love while they're here, So enjoy every moment, aspect of your life, because we just never know. So just wanted to say that. And then also I want to wish Maine a happy birthday. Got to celebrate with him yesterday, even though his birthday is today. But I knew it was West Wednesday. Y'all know I'm dedicated to West Wednesday. Like, I'd have been coming out of the hospital, coming straight to West Wednesday, never missing any things of that nature. But again, just show people love while they're here. Let's just enjoy each other. And even if we don't agree with each other, just know that we are, taking pictures. Just every day you make memories. Always keep in mind, the day is a whole day that we have never in our saw before. And this is a day, unfortunately, that we will never ever see again. The only I have left of this day, regardless if it was good, sad, or bad, we only have the memories. You know, even if it's somebody that pissed you off or anything. But I just say let's enjoy life. And then on the flip side, I also got a chance this weekend to hang out with my two besties at the same time, like, you know, me and my sister Adina and my sister Tanya. It was her birthday Saturday over the weekend. It was my sister Tanya's birthday. So many birthdays. And it was my cousin Jamie's birthday, but unfortunately she couldn't be there, or she would have. Just celebrating and just making every moment count. You know, that was like a blessing to me, hanging out, laughing, making like I said, I know every day is not perfect, and we have some days where we feel like we're on top of the world and you feel so good, and just that fast it can feel like the world is on top of you. But just remember, spend time with friends, family, loved ones, and just spread love. And even if you know you don't have that in your life, just try to find some type of peace, because we can always look at what's bad and sad, but guess what? That kind of stuff can overtake you and put you in a darker spot that sometimes people don't come out. And with everything that's happening in the world, it's just really sad right now. So try to make the best of every moment. So I just wanted to say that. And now moving on to the movie Profile. And we had did that movie like a few years ago or whatever. I believe it was in 2015. Am I correct, Uncle Bill?
2016.
2016. Okay, yeah, 2016. Yeah, so we did that documentary in 2016, and you know, it was, and when I saw it there in Red Emma, just like reflecting and like looking back at like all the impacted families, and just remembering like going there to New York City, standing in solidarity with Chantel Davis family, and her sister that always fight tirelessly and endlessly for her, and actually, going to different events and, being with her, lifting up her sister's name. And then unfortunately, it took me kind of back to when Eric Gardner was first murdered and executed. It was just really sad for me because anytime we see someone being executed and it's right there on your face and on video, you see an off and I'm out, like being brutal. You hear Eric Gardner saying, I can't breathe. A grown man saying, I can't breathe. And no stops, no one, says, okay, that's enough. Let's check on this guy. Okay, they continue on with the murders. It's like it reflected back to when my brother was executed. It reflected back to when Anthony Anderson was executed. And I remember, our brother Marcus and our sister Nicole talking about that and how they kept on saying that Anthony Anderson was faking and all this foolishness. And then even back to when Freddie Gray was screaming and howling, and nobody, none of those officers one time took a second to say, let's make sure they're okay, because they don't want to make sure they're okay. They don't want to. It's just sad and it's very disgusting. And we have a very long list tonight. I believe it's 64 names, and I know we're kind of backed up, but even if we're a week or 2 or 2 weeks backed up, that is disgusting. Like, it should never be that many names in 1 week, and it damn sure shouldn't be that many names in 2 weeks. That just shows you that this is going on. Nobody's getting checked, and they're very comfortable with it. And it didn't just start this year. It started decades ago. We can go all the way back to when slave catching was happening, because that's where law enforcement was started, as slave catchers. And their mentality is still of that. They don't look at us as being equal. And it's sad and disgusting. And then all the stuff that's happening with, the immigrants and ICE and all this stuff, it's horrible. And then I was really disgusted with one of my sisters who lost her son. My beautiful queen sister Sarah had shared to me, she shared it on my page, And she said, oh my goodness, it's happening now. And she was sharing something that when you put your loved one name down on different like social medias and you put their picture of them and you put the word justice in it with their picture, it makes a big gray block. It's like blocking it out. It's like wiping it out. I'm like, oh my God, like she actually screenshot and showed the different media platforms that she participated in. And she showed where everything was gray. And I just could only hit the wow button. It's like, wow, this is really going on. Ever since the night, when I was advertising on my page a few minutes or so before we came through, and I just wrote justice for my brother Tyrone West. But I think it's different when you I said, no, I didn't say justice. I said on justice for Tyrone West page, or something like that to that effect. But it's just sad like that we're really in some trying times right now. But I just only want everybody to not sell your souls, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. We have people that's supposed to be fighting, and then they want to kind of weaken down the movement and throw their opinions in and say, well, don't fight like this, or keep in mind that at the end of the day, what bothers me is we can keep in mind stuff, and that's all sweet and cool, but nobody's keeping in mind our bloodshed. Nobody's stopping us from being brutally executed, murdered in broad daylight. Like they're not taking our loved ones in the back of the alley and doing it where nobody could see. Like back in the day before, like we had all this social media stuff where you can actually video and see it and put it out there on social media platforms. But my whole point is, they feel so cozy and comfortable with murdering us. And you see it. The numbers speak for itself. 64 murders, literally in 2 weeks, starting from the youngest on our list is a 15-year-old baby. A baby, 15 years old. To someone, up in, I believe, their 70s or 80s. But the whole thing is, it doesn't even matter what age you are. And that's the horrifying, sad part about America. It's disgusting. And me being who I am, I like to go back to my memories, right? And me looking at my memories from last year this time, if you guys don't remember, my daughter's a professional cheerleader. So we take her to these competitions and things like that, even though I gave her a break this cheer season this year. I said, baby, take a break. Like, not only is it expensive, but your body needs that rest. Like, it's beating you down. Like, take a break, go back to it. And big shout out to my baby and I'll be sharing the videos later, but she actually participated in this weekend, auditioning to become a Ravens cheerleader. Like she worked hard, like putting in sweat, like going up against, I'm talking about hundreds of, young females that, were in there, like, and made it to different rounds and all that kind of stuff. And it's just amazing to see her like do a thing. But my whole point is, and back to the conversation at hand is, if these folks are comfortable with killing us or falsely imprisoning us, we don't need to falsely incarcerating us. We do not need to downsize nothing that we do. We need to be very unapologetically in going at how we feel and showing them, showing them whatever which way that we can, let's do it. I'm not apologizing. I'm not watering down, because at the end of the day, they don't water down our murders. And it's just sad. It's been the Doug and Pony show for decades. And I'm utterly disgusted. And every time I look at the fact and looking at that movie's profile, that took me there. Like, that broke my heart, seeing, like one of the activists from Ferguson that was boots on the ground up in your face. Activism, like from the realist, lifting up Michael Brown's name, right? He was executed, burnt up in a car, and to know that I was actually standing right beside him in a church, and we were talking about, the different things that were happening in our city where people were foul One being my brother, and, Chantel Davis, like the list went on, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, and they just on like different victims. And it's just sad, like nobody wants to be signed up to a club that you don't want to participate in. I'm just praying like no one in my worst nightmare, I would never, ever chose this life. But however, since we are the chosen ones, and the reason why I say that is, it is our duty, just like has been said and quoted in different things that we hear, but it's our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We have absolutely nothing to lose but our chains. And I mean that in every form of the matter. That's the most profound chant, slang, or whatever you want to call it. That's the more, and that means everything. We have nothing to lose but our chains. So when you go up against stuff, I don't care, no matter how hard it is, how rough it is, don't down, because we need to be slammed up in their face, but we need to remain safe. I'm not saying don't be safe, and I'm not saying don't do things that won't benefit you. You know what I'm saying? Like put your safety or your health at bay. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm simply saying is we need to bring it like they bring it on us. We need to stand firm, we need to stand strong, and we need to make sure that our voices are heard in every which way of the matter. Because all I keep thinking about, if I would have literally stopped years ago, would anybody, and there's a lot of people still don't know about my brother Tyrone West. Let's be crystal clear. I meet people every day, and they still don't know about what happened to my big brother Tyrone West. And then some people that, I talk to, they're like, oh, I remember that case, or, whatever the case may be. But my whole point, what if I would have just watered it down and just stopped, like nobody would even be talking about it. Like different things. I believe, and this is my opinion, it's not the West Coalition. I'm stepping away from the West Coalition. This is me speaking on my own. When I say stepping away, I'm not adding them to, because this is not their opinion. They don't even know what I'm going to say. So I'm being really clear. This is my disclaimer. I, feel as though if I wouldn't have kept this fight alive, that different changes wouldn't have happened. Like, it's just a lot of stuff, like teaching people how when they see you, you're a role model. Just like I teach the students in my class. I have a star student thing that every week I pick a student, right? And it doesn't matter, and we want all the babies to be leaders, all that's good, but it's just highlighting everybody has this special gift, right? And you highlight it. When you see that gift, rather is being a table helper, or the one that answers all the questions, you find the greatness and give everybody that opportunity, and you focus on them, right? But my whole point is that person, like that student, that's my star student, is role modeling, right? So the other kids, goodness, I want to be the star student. Miss Kawan, is it my turn? And I'm like, babe, keep on doing good things. But my whole point is, I feel as though with me never giving up, it's showing families. I know that for a fact. Just like with my family that I met, we're all family. Like my sister Gina said, like we're blood family now. We're, kinfolk now, But my whole point is, if I wasn't doing WestWednesday every week, right, that showed them like, well, Dad, she can do it. I can do that too. Let me do Stephon Clark Sunday. Tawanda does it every Wednesday. I'm going to do Stephon Clark Sunday in honor of my loved one, things of that nature. And then I even had other people who take, the lead that weekly that comes out and stands for accountability. But it's so sad that so many families have to stand up and do what we're doing, and nobody's paying us no mind. And we just literally, not too long ago, came up on the commemoration of Darnell Rochester. Like, my heart goes out to his mom. This poor lady is out there every week constantly fighting for accountability. And the saddest part, people that promised her or gave her hope that know that this was wrong. They know that Darnell Rochester should be here. They know that this, and nobody's doing nothing. The same exact way with my brother. It's always that, and it's not just my brother. This is happening all over the place, and that's why we are the change. So we don't do nothing. Unfortunately, how many more profile documentaries we have to be in before people say enough is enough? Like being featured in many documentaries. I'm talking about so many of them that I can't even remember until I hear about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was in that one. Okay, yeah, I remember being in the HBO special, about Baltimore Rising and things of this nature, and Charles Barkley documentary, and this one that came from overseas and did a documentary with many of them. But the whole point is, no matter how many documentaries I'm featured in, it's never about me. It's always about the victims of police brutality. It's always number one, Tyrone West, who's the head, my lead, right? But he's not there by himself. He's with all the victims of police brutality. And that's why I get super pissed off when I hear that saying, oh, well, we changed this law after that. We did this, or we're doing this now. I don't want to hear about that, especially since I mean, it's good that they're changing stuff now, but no, you're not going to play in my face. And the reason why I say that is I never miss a beat. I've been out here, I done deprived myself out of so much. I done lost a serious relationship behind me being so prone to standing boots on the ground. I don't care. My thing is, I done even lost family members that were standing out there with me that are no longer here. So I'm dedicated blood in and blood out. But my whole point is, when will we get our turn for accountability? Like, it's disgusting to me. You're talking about going on 12 years? A decade, like really? And I look at myself when I first started off, like looking like my daughter kid, like a baby, like in this, and then growing now into the woman that I am, and still no accountability. And when I look at myself, I get sad sometimes, because then I look at Miss Dorothy, who's been out there over 32 years.
That's
and
right.
Still don't got accountability.
Right.
Like, that is so sad and disgusting. That is so sad, fighting for accountability for our son, Archie Elliott. Like, Miss Dot has been out there 30-something years fighting for accountability. That is so sad and heartbreaking. And that's all I want to say. And I don't know if somebody's here to be able to check if we got any questions or comments, but I'll hand it over. But that's what I wanted to say and touch up and get it out there. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Clea, are you with us? Well, Tawana, if it's all right with you, while we're waiting for Clea to read the comments, I can make a few remarks.
Oh, absolutely. Please. Thank you.
Well, first, the film that we showed last week at West Wednesday over at Red Emma's, in my opinion, it's an excellent film. It not only documents the current struggle against police brutality and the masses of people who've been involved in that, and the many, many people giving leadership, it also goes through the history of the creation of race, because from a scientific point of view, as I understand, there's no such thing as race. It's a social construct that's useful to, it was useful to the slave system, and it's useful to the current capitalist system, in my opinion. And so the film goes through some of that material. So it's a well-rounded, deep understanding of the nature of what causes racist police brutality in the modern world. If there's anyone with us this evening who hasn't had a chance to see it, we have the file for the video. We can share it with you if you let us know. We'd like more people to be able to see it. The only thing we don't have permission to do from the producer is to show it on social media, but we can certainly share the file with you. Second, about Nicole, I agree with you, Tawanda. The memorial was deeply sad, but also a wonderful tribute to Nicole. She was only 51 years old her life cut short way before it should have been. And in my opinion, it has to do a lot with the racial discrepancies in healthcare. And she had a series of health issues. And had they been taken care of much better, I think she would still be with us. And she was an inspiring fighter against police brutality. Her father-in-law, as we know, Anthony Anderson, was someone that she kept bringing up. And he was killed right in front of his mother or grandmother, I've forgotten. Cops held him upside down and dropped him on his head. And it was always inspiring to have Nicole with us and to be really sharp about how wrong these things are and how they got to stop. And I have one more thing, or you want to come back to me later, Tawanda?
No, you can say one more thing.
All right. So Agent Orange in Washington just announced that there's going to be a new rule. I don't know if it's an executive order or exactly what it is, but essentially, if they say a demonstration is illegal, they can lock people up. They can deport people if participants are immigrants. It's another step in the move towards full-blown fascism. So I think we'll have to be careful as we plan future demonstrations. We shouldn't stop, but we just have to be mindful about how to protect one another and keep ourselves safe. I don't blame just Trump, because last spring, when there were a lot of campus struggles against the genocide in Gaza, many of those students prior to Trump were locked up, were thrown out of their schools. So it's another step in the process, but something we have to be mindful of. That's all I wanted to bring up just now. Thanks.
Oh, no, thank you. And just to clear up, because you wasn't sure if it was Anthony Anderson was murdered with his mother or his grandmother. That was his mother.
Thank you.
That actually was his mother. So, and it's just sad, like, for someone mother to see their son murdered right in front of their face, like, I'm just like over that. Like, you know, it's just sad that we have to go through that as community. We stand back and we watch. And I'm not talking about, this is with the exception of his mother, you know, or anybody, mom, because you traumatized or whatever, however. But I'm just talking about in general, when we see someone being brutalized by the police, and the first thing we do is pull out our cell phone, which is a good thing and a sad thing. It's like I guess a blessing and a curse at the same time, you know, because you need that video footage, because these jokers like to lie right in your face. And a lot of these video footages, in some case, have sort of like, so we went and saw what happened to our beautiful queen, Sonia Massey. Like, we saw that video, you know, and that wasn't, you know, nobody like personal thing. That was body cam footage that they probably done edit, did all types of stuff. So imagine if, you know, someone was out in the street walking by, bystander walking past her house, and her window was open, and they filmed that whole thing, and being able to hear the audio and hear her talk and pour her water out, and still was executed. Like, but my whole point is for us to allow these jokers to like literally come and bring harm on us, and we just standing there watching, holding up cell phone videos and doing nothing but that. Like, that's disgusting. And then I want to also say, and it just like dawned upon my heart, that if you are videoing someone and you want to be helpful, make sure you do not turn your video footage in to police officers. Make sure you be a conscious consumer, do your research, and find out how to get that footage to that person's family or their attorneys, but do not give that raw video to the raw video footage to the law enforcement officers. Because in my brother's case, when he was executed on July the 18th, 2013, it was numerous people that pulled out their cell phones at the time, and they caught some of one person, and we will never know. And I'm praying that it pops up, or the person pops up, or maybe they might hear this and say, you know what, I want to turn in this footage after going on a decade, you know. But they had the video footage, the whole entire thing, from beginning to end. And you had some, I heard, that had maybe 10 or minutes of it, but one person I heard had the whole entire 45 to up to 50 minutes because even after my brother was murdered, they stood around him like they were a football team planning their next move to cover their behind parts, and things of that nature. But my whole point, if you have video footage, do not turn it over to law enforcement because all they're going to do is destroy it. The same way that they destroyed all the evidence of my brothers. Like, they literally destroyed everything. Like, they told us, oh, after the investigation is over, we're going to give you Mr. West belongings back. I lied to you not. It's a decade later. Never got anything back. The only damn thing I got back from the investigation was my car keys. And by the way, they lied and they said that my car was on drug hold, that I never was going to see my vehicle again, and how that they was doing, it was on a drug search, and they said normally when it's seized for drugs, whatever, because no drugs was in my vehicle, but they said they normally in that case, when they have a warrant for your car for drugs, they say they pretty much turn your whole entire car, like they break it down. Officers, one of the liars that came said that they're going to break your car apart like it's a puzzle, like taking out everything. Windows, seats, everything. And I'm in my mind, like, I don't give a damn about a car. I only care about what y'all murderers did to my brother. Another thing. But my whole point is, if you have video, please make sure you find out who family is of the person that was murdered and make sure they get it directly. So, is Kalia on yet? Mic check. Or someone that can read the questions or comments?
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I can read the questions and comments now.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Starting off with Bill. Good to be with all of you, supporting the important struggle against racist police murder and supporting West Wednesday in particular. Mainism commented mic check and thank you and love you. AC Britt commented happy birthday, Maine, mic check. Hillary commented happy birthday, Maine, Tanya and Jamie. Yes, each day is a gift. As Tawanda says, live to love. I commented mic check. Mainism commented thank you, Britt. Judah commented mic check. AC Britt said that's Miss Britt to you. Angela commented mic check. AC Britt commented a heart emoji to Angela. Smiley Forever commented mic check. AC Britt said, hey now, warrior queens in the house, with a heart emoji. Hillary commented, you are an amazing role model to so many. You make this crazy world better. Judah commented, hey, back to streaming on Facebook. I didn't realize that. AC Britt commented, think about this. When it comes to accountability on all fronts, it seems to take decades and decades when it only took minutes for them to do what they did. Latoya Benton commented mic check. AC Britt commented, from wrongful convictions taking 30 and 40 years to overturn, to people like Miss Dorothy fighting in addition to everyone else fighting for decades. You're into your second decade and it's ridiculous. Ansel Jones commented mic check. AC Britt commented, I will include the missing Black and Indigenous people across this country. You rarely hear about the cases, but let a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman or girl go missing and it's all hands on deck. Angela commented to AC Britt, heart emoji. AC Britt said, this is all by design. As disgusting and despicable as it all is, it feels purposeful. Judah commented, I admire Nicole so much. I was sorry I couldn't make her memorial service. Judah also commented, you're right, Bill. Quote-unquote liberal universities were calling the police on protesting students, while a Democratic president was supporting the massacre in Gaza. AC Britt commented, they'll make it disappear if you share it. And finally, Latoya Benton said, exactly, because they will change it or edit it to what they want the narrative to be. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Love you guys all. And big shout out to Latoya, who's fighting tirelessly for her son Xavier, but not only doing that, she's fighting for everybody. She has a podcast where she shares information about different cases, and she's amazing. Like, when I say amazing woman, my Shero, like, this lady actually, pretty much representing her own self, like pushing her son case. So you keep on pushing, my sister, and there's anything that you need that we can do, we always right right here. And also, it was our sister Queen Angela's birthday too. We had so many birthdays, even though our birthday was last month in February, but still just all the beautiful birthdays and being able to give people their flowers and tell them that we love you while they are here. And I love each and every last one of y'all, like real life love. Like, oh my God, like that's why I'm a big crybaby. So I don't want to start crying because my lashes gotta last me till Friday until I get my lashes done again. But on the bright side, I just love you guys, and I want to give all of y'all flowers and give y'all as much as love now. Shout out to Judah, who always like holds it down, and we know that you was in solidarity. I saw you kind of, you were watching, and he was apologizing for not being able to physically be there, as well as like a lot of people couldn't be there, but y'all was there like heart, and like it was, we felt y'all spirit, we felt the solidarity. Like, thank you guys. Like my sister Dina was trying to get there, but our time was off because I was supposed to, call her. We were supposed to go together, but then everything was off. But it was so many people. Like Rhonda Dormis was supposed to be there, but she was out of town. She wanted to be, not supposed to be there, but she wanted. There's a lot of people that wanted to be there, but however, their schedule didn't fit it, but they were there. Like y'all spirits, the love was there, the room was felt, and at the end of the day, we still have to remember that when the service is over, we still need to reach out and check back on our loved ones, because you get all the calls leading up to that moment, but then after that happened, the phone stopped ringing. You don't have no one showing you love. And then that's when you start crawling back into that dark spot. Trust me, I know it. Been there, done that. So let's just continue on, not only, showing, talking about and lifting up their names, but showing the loved one families love, because everybody needs love. So with that being said, I love you guys. But tonight, unfortunately, this is the part that I don't like at all. And, we apologize because there's so many names tonight. And we do know and understand that we have been literally, like holding off on the list. Like, last week we did the documentary, we didn't read the list, and then, whatever. But however, it should never be acceptable to have 64 names on anyone's list. And you're talking about a loved one's family being changed forever. So I'm not even going to read the disclosure. I'm going to pretty much say how I feel in my mind without reading, what I normally read about West Wednesday, but I'm just going to say it from my heart, and please don't judge me. Like, I'm just like, I'm over it. I just want us to be safe and to be in a world where there's nothing but peace and love. Like, at the end of the day, we all know that nobody's going to live forever, but let's just enjoy each other while we are here in the presence now. Like I always said, and I even said this before my brother passed away, before he was murdered. I always said, live to love, love to live. And that's what I mean. That's what I live by. So with that being said, tonight, with all the sadness that we're getting ready to share with you guys, it breaks my heart in every way, and not just my heart. It breaks the whole entire West Coalition heart to actually be able to rename the people. That, like, when you murder one person, sometimes you murder a whole family. Sometimes you murder that last loved one. Like for me to literally be at Nicole's funeral, and one of her uncles showed up for the eulogy, and he pretty much said that, hey, I'm the last of Nicole's family members. And how blessed and how sad her life was in different ways, and all the trauma she suffered through. It is so sad. We all suffered the trauma. It is so sad and horrible. But you just never know. And for him literally to bury or literally to have to come to a service to say goodbye, which I don't like saying. I always say, see you later. But to actually, come to a sad event to say, hey, I'm the only family member left, that is horrible. And in these cases, we don't know beautiful human souls were. We don't know anything. We don't even know like the stories behind them. We don't know, but we do know that we stand in peace. We do know that we stand in love. Unfortunately, we get our list from a national and we get it from a local, right? So we have no information about, like, we could be, unfortunately, sometimes we could be even reading someone that was a mass murderer, right? And we don't know that. And, they wind up getting killed. But at the end of the day, I always say, and it's not the West Coalition, it's Wanda Jones stepping outside the box. I always say, no one deserves to be brutally murdered, right? That's just my belief. But with that being said, we have a sad list, and I'm praying, me as someone that's in the church, I'm praying for these loved ones. And if you don't pray, that's fine. And then just send love, send healing, send light. This is someone loved one. It could easily be your loved one. You can hear a name tonight. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't hear from so and so. Is this the person that's on the list? It is just so sad. So hearing about murder is horrible. So again, we believe in advocating peace. We believe in mediation. Because if you could talk about it, that means you can walk away. That means you could pretty much agree to disagree and you walk away. You know what I'm saying? Instead of someone being murdered. No one deserves to be brutally murdered. No one. So again, my heart goes out. I'm going to look at the time, and we are going to go into the sad list. So the time now is 7:52. So at 7:53, we're going to go into the sad list. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
All right, guys, that might have not been the whole full minute. I don't believe it was, but we're going to start just for time's sake. So thank you for any prayers you may have solicited. Thank you for any positive vibes that you may have sent this way to these human beings. No one deserves to be brutally murdered, so I will hand it over. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Kalia, are you doing the community violence list first?
I can if we would like to.
We generally go that way. What do you think, Tawanda?
Yes, please, because our other list is so long. We definitely could do the community violence list first. And yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, tonight for this list, we have 7 names. The youngest killed was 16 years old, and the oldest was 79. Reading it in no particular order, this person who was 79 years old killed in Baltimore, Clyde Barnes.
Clyde Lawrence.
Clyde.
Sorry, Barnes. Clyde Barnes.
Excuse me. Clyde Barnes.
Next, also a local in Baltimore, 30 years old, Eric Carter.
Eric
Carter.
Next, 28 years old, Saquon Newton.
Saquon.
Newton.
Next person, 23 years old, Deontavis Whitfield.
Davis.
Next person, 20 years old, Kelvin Olivares Portillo.
Kelvin Oliveras
Kelvin Oliveras Cortez.
And finally, with our youngest victim, 16 years old, Cameron Kelly.
Cameron
Kelly.
Kelly.
And thank you so much for clearing. We all know that we feel sorry, just as sorry and sad about police brutality as well as community violence, because it's all hand in hand. At the end of the day, nobody deserves to be brutally murdered, and murder is murder. But the only difference is when a killer cop kills us, we know who they are, we know what they did, and hardly nothing is ever done. Just the process is different. That's it. Mic check.
Mic check.
Next
So I'll begin the horrible list here of the people that have been killed by the police around the country recently. We'll be going from February the 1st to February the 10th, and then we'll have another person read all the killings by police from February 11th to the 23rd. As Tawana mentioned earlier, the police know no bounds. On this list, the youngest person is 15, and the oldest is 79. We begin with, February the 1st in Sacramento, California. It was a man whose name, as of now, has been withheld by the police.
Cell block for Killer Cop.
Ashe. And then on the same day, we go to Moberly, Montana. This was a 37-year-old man, Timothy Turner.
Timothy Turner.
On the 1st again, in Pukalani, HI, is that Hawaii?
Yes.
I believe.
Thank you. This is a woman, 20 years old, Michaela DePronte.
Michaela DePronte.
Again on the 1st in Sun City, California, a 45-year-old man, Jose Velasquez.
Jose
Velasquez. Then we go to the 2nd of February, Chicago, Illinois, 28-year-old man, Kurt Kilbert.
Kurt Gilbert.
We move now to the 3rd of February, Bossier City, Louisiana, a woman, 51 years old, Alicia Colbert.
Alicia Colbert.
And on the 3rd, close to home, unfortunately, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a man who was 36 years old, Brian Cada.
Brian Cada.
On the same date in Claremont, California, 57-year-old man, Jeffrey Barton.
Jeffrey Barton.
We go now to Pomona, California, same date, 20 years old, killed by police, Isaac Cannon.
Isaac Cannon.
On the 3rd again in Portage Lake, Maine, 29-year-old man, Stephen, I hope I'm able to pronounce the family name correctly, Raheny.
Stephen Raheny.
On the 4th in Hoover, Alabama, 44-year-old man, Christopher Hulligan.
Christopher.
On the 4th again in Anchorage, Alaska, 33 years old, a man, Francis Rochon.
Francis.
Yet again on the 4th, Richmond, California, 51-year-old man, Jose Rios.
Jose.
Same date in North Las Vegas, Nevada, 25-year-old man, Alexander Mathis.
Alexander Mathis.
Moving to the 5th in Mexia, Texas. We don't know the age, but it was a man whose name is Darius Brewer.
Darius.
All right. Still in the 5th, we go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A man, 33 years old, Maurice Jones. Again, on the same date, we go to Devon, West Virginia. And this is a 65-year-old man, Billy Porter. On the 6th again in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, And here we have the tragic, they're all tragic, but this is particularly tragic. 15 years old, Nicholas Rodriguez.
Nicholas Rodriguez.
Nicholas Rodriguez.
We move now. Oh, that was the 6th. I'm sorry. Again on the 6th in San Antonio, Texas, 19 years old, Nathaniel Moreno.
Nathaniel Moreno.
Nathaniel Moreno.
Again on that date in Des Moines, Washington, 43 years old, name at this point withheld by police.
Cell blocks, killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. On the 6th again in Quincy, Florida, 44 years old, Dominic Caraway.
Dominic
Caraway.
Yet again on the 6th in Brooksville, Florida, 62 years old, Michael O'Banner.
Michael O'Banner.
We move now to the 7th in Titusville, Florida, 26 years old. It's a difficult name to get right. Let me see if I can honor him properly. Tri Maria Raekwon Charles. I'll say that once more. Tri Maria Raekwon Charles.
Tri Maria Raekwon Charles.
Moving to the 8th in Thornton, Colorado. In this case, a man whose name and his age have both been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On the 8th again, this time in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, 23 years old, Jalen Seabrun.
Jalen Seabrun.
Once more on the 8th, now in Yakima, Washington, 31 years old, Robert Haverio.
Robert Haverio.
Yet again on the 8th in Orlando, Florida, 24 years old, Luis Lopez.
Luis Lopez.
On the 9th, in Stanton, Tennessee, 33 years old, Georgie Marabishvili.
Georgie Marabishvili.
On the 9th, in Reno, Nevada, 31 years old, name withheld by police.
Cell blocks for killer
Ashe.
Ashe. On the 10th now of February, Cookeville, Tennessee, 29 years old, Tommy Spurlock.
Tommy
Spurlock.
And the final person we're upholding on my list of people killed by police in the early part of February, in Gonzales, Louisiana, 25 years old, Abdul Rahman Ali.
Abdul Rahman Ali.
Thank you, everyone. We're turning over to another speaker now who's going to continue with the second list.
So the second list, it takes us from February 11th all the way to February 23rd. Let's take a deep breath and remember all these families as we uphold these names. So on February 11th in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a male, unknown age. His name is Max Justin Martet.
Max Justin Martin.
Martet. Okay. On the 12th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 24-year-old male, Isaiah Stott. On the 12th, again, in Port Huron, Michigan, 52-year-old male whose name has been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe. On the 12th again in Reno, Nevada, 58-year-old male, Jeffrey Chapman.
Jeffrey Chapman.
On the 12th again in Lillington, North Carolina, 31-year-old male, Leo Warren Reeves.
Leo Warren Reeves.
On the 12th in Lincoln, Maine, 37-year-old Derek Beach. On the 13th, in Independence, Montana, 27-year-old Independence, Missouri, 27-year-old male, Daniel Bonnet.
Daniel Bonnet.
On the 13th, in Martinsburg, West Virginia, an unknown age, a male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks, killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. On the 15th, in Colorado Springs, Colorado, 45-year-old male, Derek Wardle.
Derek Wardle.
On the 16th, in Flowood, Mississippi, 18-year-old male, Jalen Robinson.
Jalen Robinson.
On the 16th, in Prescott, Arizona, 36-year-old male, Michael Apper.
Michael Apper.
On the 16th, in Barstow, California, 34-year-old male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks
for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
On the 17th, in Chillicothe, Ohio, 39-year-old male, Daniel Long.
Daniel Long.
On the 17th, in Alice, Texas, a male, unknown age, whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
On the 17th, in Charlottesville, Virginia, 28-year-old male, Justin M. Barber.
Justin M. Barber.
On the 17th, in Crescent City, California, a male, unknown age, and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks
for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. On the 17th, in San Jacinto, California, unknown male, again, whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer
cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. On the 17th, in Akron, Ohio, 39-year-old male, Marcus Leonard Smith.
Marcus Leonard Smith.
Thank you. On the 18th, in Searcy,
I think it's Arizona.
Arizona, yeah, it's a little bit fuzzy for some reason on my screen. So in Searcy, Arizona, on the 18th, 53-year-old male, Scott Strassner.
Scott Strassner.
Also on the 18th, in Concord, California, 47-year-old male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for
Cell
killer
blocks
cops.
for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Also on the 18th, in Queens, New York, 79-year-old male, Emil Williams.
Emil Williams.
On the 19th, in Miamisburg, Ohio, 21-year-old male, Jaden Stevenson.
Jaden Stevenson.
On the 19th, in Phoenix, Arizona, 31-year-old male, Dominic Gracia.
Dominic
Gracia.
On the 20th, in Madras, Oregon, 26-year-old male, Dale Warner Jr.
Dale Warner Jr.
Yeah.
Thank you. On the 21st, in Orlando, Florida, 33-year-old male, Antonio Scripio.
Antonio Scripio.
On the 21st, in Newton, Texas, 49-year-old male, Michael Boyd Powers.
Michael Boyd Powers.
Also on the 21st, in Piqua, Ohio, 44-year-old male, David West.
David West.
On the 22nd, close to here, in York, Pennsylvania, 49-year-old male, I'll try to say this correctly, Diogenes Archangel Ortiz.
Diogenes Archangel
Ortiz.
Thank you. On the 22nd, in Sioux City, Idaho, I believe, 30-year-old male, Vicente Manzo Hernandez.
Vicente Manzo Hernandez.
On the 22nd, in Henderson, North Carolina, male of unknown age, Johnny Mayfield.
Johnny Mayfield.
On the 23rd, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a male unknown age, but whose name is Benjamin Raymond.
Benjamin
Raymond.
On the 23rd, in Anderson, South Carolina, 55-year-old male, Lawrence Thomas DeVilbus.
Lawrence Thomas
DeVilbus.
On the 23rd, in Kansas City, Kansas, 33-year-old male, this is the last one, Brian Hilt.
Brian Hilt.
And that concludes our very long list for tonight. Let's keep all of these families in our hearts.
Tawanda, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, yes. My phone, I kept saying, you know, how long it just like blurred out and just got back. My Wi-Fi and all that's off right now, but yeah. So, yeah, so I just want to thank each and every last one of you tonight, and yeah, just keep everybody in prayers, and I'll send prayers to you on Special Thoughts, and we will see you guys next West Wednesday. Mic check, and stay tuned for the video that we played. Stay tuned for the other half. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.